Hi, this is Rick Killips from Investigative Services of Northern Michigan. Today I'd like to give you some tips on trying to search for a profile in Facebook by using a cell phone number and emails. Now, one of the problems you have when you're trying to find a profile in Facebook is that the person could have a very common name. They could be using a married name or a maiden name or a combination of all of those. They could also use a first and middle name instead of a last name, completely fake names if they want. It's really difficult to tell. And if they have a very common name like Steve Johnson, you could literally end up with thousands of potential targets that you have to go through and verify which one is the correct one. And it could really make you want to pull your hair out by the time you're done doing this. When you first sign up with Facebook, they ask you during the sign up process to provide them an email or a mobile number. A landline number won't work because what they're going to do is send a code to that mobile number that you then have to enter back into Facebook to show that you have given them a legitimate number, or you will need to have given them an email address that they could use to verify that at least that email was working. But keep in mind that because when you sign up, you could have an old email that's no longer in use or an old cell phone number, that when you're using this technique by cell phone number or an email address, that what you want to consider is that you may have to go back and look at what they had for some old phone numbers or some old email addresses. Because if they signed up 10 years ago, they may not have the same number available now. And if they have 2 or 3 numbers that you can find through TLO or IRB search, whatever, you may have to check several of those to see if you can find the right one. If their current one doesn't work, that doesn't mean that you can't find it using this process. One of the factors that's going to determine whether you can look the person up using their cell phone number or their email is what settings they have in their Facebook settings for privacy. And I'll show you what I mean here. If you go over to the upper right of the menu, click on this triangle, go down to Settings, and then on the left side here, go down to Privacy. And right here is Who Can Look Me Up? And that's where this comes into play. Who can look me up using the email address provided? And I have it set now at everyone. Normally I have it set just at friends. It gives you the option when you go to edit. Over here, then you have everyone, friends of friends, or friends. And friends is the most restrictive. It's only friends that you have on Facebook. But again, for demonstration purposes, I put everyone here so I can do searches from people that aren't my friends and show that it does work. And who can look me up using the phone number provided? Everyone. Same thing here. And then you can change it again by using this edit key, edit function. Something else you may or may not know about. Do you want search engines outside of Facebook to link to your profile? Sometimes you can do Google searches to your heart's content. You'll get no hit on a person. That's probably because they've set the setting here to no. That means you have to be in Facebook to search for that person. You can't use Google or Yahoo or another search engine outside of Facebook to help you link to their account. Okay, now I'm logged into a profile to a person that is not a friend of mine on Facebook. And I'll put in my cell phone number and see if it brings up my profile. Now you'll notice I didn't put any dashes in there. You don't have to, or you can, either way, and it'll still work. And look, it brought me right up here, brought my profile right up. And so it brings you right into it. So by using my cell phone that I've got in the system, it worked. And we can also do it this way. I'll go back. If he knew that my email that I used when I signed up was, oops. And that brings it up too. So that's it. I mean, if you have the email address, if you have the phone number, you can put it in there and see if it brings up the person. And again, I've found I've had a lot of luck when I've been testing this, finding people from old cases that were difficult to find but they don't have the settings restricted to the point where I can't look them up using their phone numbers. And of course, through a lot of our databases, we have a good chance of finding a mobile number or whatnot on them. Well, that's it for this video. If you'd like to see others, you can go to this link on my website and click on it, and it'll bring you to a form where you can put in your email address, and I'll be sure you're notified of upcoming videos.